A noble and exemplary leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Chief Dr. Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano Osodieme, wife of the governor of Anambra State, Chief Willie Obiano, is not only a noble leader but also a woman of substance. Osodieme, like Barbara Taylor and Mother Teresa, is a woman who ascended to the mountain tops, found the loftiest peaks, most wrapped in clouds and snow. She then found the surpassed and subdued mankind and looked down on the hate of those below. Perhaps one role Chief Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano never imagined playing is that of Manambra, which literally means mother of Anambra State. But the assumption of office as governor of the state on March 17, 2014 by her husband, Chief Willie Obiano, unwittingly thrust her forward for the role. Though not the eldest among Anambra women, Mrs. Obiano undoubtedly assumed the responsibility, bearing in mind the words of Robert A. Heinlein on the roles of mothers. Being a mother is an attitude, not a biological relation. This aphorism obviously informed the commitment and disposition of the wife of the governor the moment she got into her stride, such that within a very short while she had acquitted herself creditably as Mama Anambra, to the admiration of many who easily confirmed that she wears the role like a fitted clothing with humility, dignity and candor. Nevertheless, it was a former UN Secretary General, late Kofi Annan, who succinctly describes it. He once said that there is no tool for development more effective than women empowerment. Annan's conviction is shared by Dr. Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano Osodieme, whose messianic zeal and dedication to the cause of women has improved the well-being of Umuanya, Anambra and beyond. It is no longer news that since Chief Dr. Willie Ebelechukwu Obiano was sworn in on Monday, March 17, 2014 as the governor of Anambra State, the governor's wife Osodieme assumed the role of championing the cause of women and others in the society by consistently seeking and creating avenues for women to become economically empowered and contribute to the development of the state and the country. Apparently, these are among the principles behind the programs of NGO she founded, Caring Family Enhancement Initiative Cafe, which has made remarkable changes in the lives of Umuwanyi, Anambra. Osodieme's single-minded approach in promoting women empowerment programs is born out of its transformational impact on the average woman's economic status and well-being, and the need to tackle economic inequality in general. A strong advocate of sustainable empowerment of rural women, Osodieme asserted in a March 2017 presentation entitled Opportunities for Entrepreneurship for Rural Women at the Women Consortium of Nigeria Wokonside event at the 61st session of the United Nations Commission for the Status of Women CSW in New York, United States of America, that when you take away economic power from the woman, you take away her gender power. According to Osodieme, the average rural woman is industrious and enterprising, but needs opportunities as an entrepreneur, collaboration and information sharing, which encourage positive exchanges between organizations on capacity building. She needs empowerment through financial inclusion. Hence, CAFE was registered in August 2014 by His Excellency Chief Dr. Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano Osodieme in furtherance of her passion for helping the needy. It has the mandate to care for the less privileged and reduce women's child vulnerability while maintaining the dignity of physically challenged persons. Hence, CAFE was registered in August 2014 by Her Excellency Chief Dr. Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano Osodieme in furtherance of her passion for helping the needy. It has the mandate to care for the less privileged and reduce women's child vulnerability while maintaining the dignity of physically challenged persons. The Caring Family Enhancement Initiative CAFE is a non-governmental, non-partisan, non-ethnic and non-religious organization which provides humanitarian and charitable services. The organization promotes and propagates the welfare and safety of the citizens based on the principles of equity, justice and fairness in order to foster socio-political and economic development of Anambra State. Cafe galvanizes support and resources for the upliftment of orphans and vulnerable children. It also acts as a beacon of sustainable empowerment for non-skilled persons, indigent widows, women, youths, the physically challenged and the less privileged in the society. The aims and objectives of Cafe are to embark on charitable work for the less privileged children in our society and support existing reputable charity organizations, to reduce the vulnerability of women and youth poverty level to the barest minimum, to cater for poor, physically challenged and deprived aged women in the society, to promote and improve on the welfare of the most vulnerable and disadvantaged groups in the society, such as the disabled, the destitute, the aged and the children, to initiate, organize, supervise and assist women and the youths in various vocational training and skill acquisition, to reduce the high rate of abandoned babies through enlightenment of pregnant women, to rehabilitate youth and channel their energy towards building a better society, and to provide quality health care for the whole family. In keeping with the objective, Cafe has embarked on so many activities and programs to alleviate the suffering of the hoi polloi in society. The Home for the Mentally Challenged at Nteje Oyi local government area is an initiative that helps to rid Anambra streets of stray mentally challenged persons who are cared for at the center. The program involves regular raids and rescue of mentally challenged persons roaming the streets. For instance, Dr. Mrs. Obiano reunited a 72-year-old woman from Umudio with her family 35 years after she was presumed dead because she disappeared completely from its radar. This is notable exemplary. Mrs. Rose Anen, a mother of 5, was brought home from Lagos following mental health challenges and depression. She was later discovered on the streets and taken to the 77-bed home for the mentally challenged. Such was the drive that enabled Osodieme make the seamless transition to public life since 2014, next to her husband, Governor Willie Obiano. Mrs. Obiano set out with ease and has since then been positively transforming the lives of indigent widows and the less privileged in society through the programs of our NGO Caring Family Enhancement Initiative. So far, over 100 cases of stray mentally challenged persons have been rescued, treated and rehabilitated at the Home for the Mentally Challenged Persons in Nteje, Anambra State. Those that have been successfully treated have been handed over to their families from states like Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Edo, Oyo and so many others. Caring Family Enhancement Initiative program facilitates free surgeries for children and persons with congenital mouth disorders in collaboration with the Smile Training International and University Teaching Hospital Nayuth, Newi. Many children have benefited from the program so far. Over 100 beneficiaries have so far benefited from Dr. Mrs. Obiano's free cleft lip and palate surgeries. Cafe makes regular presentation of mobility aids like wheelchairs to the physically challenged. The free gift program has been extended to over 500 beneficiaries spread across the 21 local government areas of Anambra State. Over 1,800 people have benefited from Cafe's free gift mobility aids, including wheelchairs. Similarly, Cafe sponsors free prosthetic limbs for the physically challenged in Anambra State. The program, which is regularly carried out with the technical support of Tolaram Group, has recorded over 1,000 beneficiaries. Registration for the next phase of the artificial limb feeding is a regular exercise at the office of the NGO in Awka. Since inception, over 2,000 individuals have benefited from Cafe's free prosthetic limbs program for the physically challenged. Caring Family Enhancement Initiative has so far trained and empowered over 5,000 Anambra women, widows and youths in various skills. The cafe concept involves regular training of participants with direct resource and or in collaboration with genuine organizations with manpower development capabilities in the chosen areas of interest, free of charge. The areas of intervention include tailoring and fashion design, soap making, bakery and confectionery, hairdressing and beauty therapy, and interior decoration, telephone and computer repairs, amongst other programs. On graduation, beneficiaries receive free equipment in their chosen trade and startup capital from Chief Dr. Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano. 5,000 women, widows and youths have been trained in various skills under Cafe Skills Training and Empowerment programs. Osodieme recognizes that the first step in the emancipation of an indigent widow is to put a roof over her head. Thus, the joy of women in Anambra has known no bounds since Osodieme started building free houses for indigent widows. Under the Cafe Housing for Indigent Widows, over 27 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom bungalows and boreholes have been built and handed over to lucky beneficiaries free of charge. The houses are located at Agolo, Amichi, Amoka, Alo, Obofemmili, Enugwotu, Nri, Ogbunike, Umunya, Nibo, Egbagu Eziagolo, Nobi, while other sites are under construction in other communities across the state. To promote hygiene and preserve the dignity of rural women, CAFE embarks on the construction of modern toilets with sections for both females and males, as well as those living with disabilities, and borehole for water supply in select rural markets across 3 senatorial districts of Anambra State. So far, 20 market toilets have been constructed at Ekigwenteje, Afombaokwu, Afuigwu Mudioka, Oyolise Ogbunike, Nkwokuzo, Otuocha Aguleri, Orie Omuzo, Nkwo Ufuma, Umuawulo and Obiano. Others are the Universal School Omasiago and the new modern toilet for traders at Zone 3 Main Market Onitsha, Afiama Umueri, Oyachala, Ekuke Market and Ekamuigwe Otolonewi. Others are still under construction. No doubt, these toilets have helped to promote hygiene and dignity of market men and women, as well as eradicated open defecation, which prompted UNICEF and the European Union to crown Osodieme as Water Sanitation and Hygiene Watch Ambassador. Perhaps the most significant of Osodieme's support for Umuwanya Anambra is her role in the full implementation and domestication of the national gender policy of 35% affirmative action for women, with Anambra currently ranked above the national benchmark. Today in Anambra, women occupy positions of authority at all levels. A woman, Right Honorable Barrister Rita Obianamma Madagwo, was the Speaker of Anambra State House of Assembly for 4 years. In the 6th Assembly, again, for the first time in history, a woman, Honorable Justice Ijem Onwamebu, was made the Chief Judge of Anambra State. There are also commissioners, special advisors, heads of government agencies and other political appointees. In fact, many observers attest to the increasing number and active participation of women in politics in the state due to Osodieme's encouragement and inspiration. In addition, Osodieme annually embarks on community empowerment tour of all the communities in the 21 local governments in the state. The tour is usually a platform through which the governor's wife relates with a convergence of towns from each of the councils. It is aimed at reaching out to the poor, the widows and the fiscally challenged with gifts in the region of food, household and educational materials, as well as delivery kits to pregnant women, diapers, wrapper for aged women, rice, couch, exercise books and other items. In fact, During one of the visits, Osodieme visited and settled over 1.7 million naira hospital bill of a mother of quintuplets in Oka who was held in the hospital for not being able to settle the bill. At each of the visited areas, Chief Mrs. Obiano made several points ranging from health, economic and social welfare. She noted the importance of primary health care centers in every community, saying that though the state was on a good scale in the areas of child and maternal health, there was still the need to aim for total elimination of various infant and maternal health threats. She therefore charged town and council leaders to take up the responsibility of making sure that each health care in their communities were effectively revamped by contacting the appropriate authorities. To recover consciousness in this regard, the governor's wife presented mosquito nets shared among the children, pregnant and nursing mothers. Worthy of note is her attraction of support from non-indigenous and prominent sons and daughters of the state from different political persuasions who freely donate in support of cafe's charitable projects. Glory be to God Almighty that these humanitarian and monumental projects undertaken by the wife of the governor, Osodieme, are financed through support and donations to the NGO by philanthropists. Osodieme consistently argues that her quest for women empowerment should not be seen as a threat but complementary by the men folk whose role as heads of family is not in doubt. Such interventions by CAFE, she explained, are designed to incrementally help women become economically self-reliant by gaining better quality of life, acquiring self-confidence, self-esteem and basic life skills. Above all, over time, women will cease to be seen as burden in households but will be able to contribute to family upkeep. Like a goldfish which has no hiding place, Chief Dr. Mrs. Obiano's advocacy and work in community health and empowerment of the less privileged, including the fiscally challenged, have led to several global and local recognitions and awards. A few worth mentioning include Woman of Excellence Award in 2019, EU UNICEF Watch Ambassador 2016, and United Nations Peace Ambassador 2014. Other awards are Primetime Reporters First Lady of the Year Award 2016, Most Valuable Governor's Wife Award 2016-2017, and Excellence Award by Nigerian Women in Atlanta, Georgia, United States of America. Some local recognitions are by the Obunike Progressive Union with a Merit Award in 2015, the conferment by the Laity Council of Onitsha Archdiocese on her of the title of Duchess of Laity, and St. Luke's Anglican Communion Nsugbe, which singled her out as Nnedi Oramma. On November 17, 2018, a prestigious citadel of learning, the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, COOU, bestowed on Chief Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano an honorary Doctor of Letters for her shining accomplishments in human development. The wife of the Governor of Anambra State and founder of Caring Family Enhancement Initiative, Chief Mrs. Obiano, also bagged the 6th Prize for Leadership in Humanitarian Services Award on Sunday, 16th April 2018 at the Civic Center, Victoria Island, Lagos, in an event attended by the creme de la creme of Anambra State and Nigeria. A visibly elated Osodieme expressed happiness for the recognition and the overwhelming support of friends and well-wishers. She said, unquote, "This means more work. Once you are acknowledged for what you do, it spurs you to do more. My husband is working for Anambra State and I'm supporting to ensure that things go well. I want to thank God Almighty for His recognition, for them to have fished me out for what I do. I also want to thank my husband immensely because if he didn't encourage me, if he didn't allow me to follow my passion, I wouldn't have been able to get to this height." End of quote. In his reaction, her husband and Governor of Anambra State, His Excellency Chief Willie Obiano, said, "My wife has been doing this charity work for a very long time and she has been a pillar. So I thank God for the recognition and I know it will spur her to do more for the less privileged." Presenting the award to Osodieme, an elder statesman and the former Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Chief Emeka Anyoku, said, unquote, "In Willie and Ebelechukwu Obiano, Anambra got 2 for the prize of 1. All I can say is that I recently discovered that added to her many gifts is the prowess of writing. I had the pleasure of reading an intimate biography of her husband written by her. It was a book I made the mistake of reading by 10:30 in the evening, and it deprived me of my sleep because I couldn't put it down till 3 a.m. It is an extremely well written book. Continuing, Chief Anyokwu emphasized, so for all her good works to the people of Anambra State, I must say that I read in the newspaper that Mrs. Obiano was responsible for getting home to her family a woman of about 72 years who was presumed dead for 35 years. It is only one of the very many things she does. The Obianos, the first couple to win the prestigious Zik Prize in different categories, were the signage of all eyes at the event. Whereas Governor Obiano received the award for excellent leadership in public office in 2016, his wife Ebelechukwu is recognized in the humanitarian category, the first of its kind since the institution of the Zik Prize in 1994. As founder and promoter of CAFE, the Onitsha-born Chief Dr. Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano, who hails from Obunike in Oyi local government area, but married to Aguleri, Anambra East local government area, is able to fulfill her lifelong passion of touching lives. Such is the impact of Chief Dr. Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano, Osodieme, the acknowledged voice, not just for women, but for the voiceless, the indigent widows, the physically challenged, the less privileged, children, youth, and the rest of Ndi Anambra. Osodieme, the amazing Amazon, Mother Teresa of Anambra, Oju no Emogo, Deme o.